I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and this is the Pipebomb. Question, what's the longest running gang war in wrestling history? No, not the Gang Wars storyline from 97 to 98, not NWO versus WCW, not the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds. No, the longest gang feud in wrestling has taken place behind the scenes at WWE. It's the video editing team versus the script writing team, aka the good guys versus the bad guys. Hey look, Sam, we're doing an episode about editors and how much better they are than writers. It's just a little treat for you, a little treat that you have to turn around quite quickly, actually, because I missed a writing deadline on this one by about a week. Back to work! For about 20 years now, the MVP of WWE hasn't been Cena, Austin, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, MVP. It's been the editors, often taking muddled, convoluted, Russo-esque storylines and somehow reshaping them with a linear narrative that stirs emotion and cultivates hype in the form of a video package. In the same way that Sam Driver and his editing team generate videos from all my drop takes, line flubs, and awful ad-lib moments, the WWE editing team often craft mini Bruckheimer blockbusters from mediocre promos, making gourmet dinners from noodles and salt. When I was but a wee lad, it would often be the case that I'd enjoy the hype videos before each title match more than the match itself. It's a constant f***ing burden that when you skip to the match that you want to see on the WWE network, it doesn't start you at the f***ing video package. You have to rewind manually if you want to see it. Am I right? Who's with me? After all, let's look at some of the classics. The Rock versus Austin at Mania 17. Team WWF versus Team Alliance at Survivor Series 2001. That was f***ing miracle work right there. Triple H versus Cactus Jack 2000. Michaels Taker at Mania 26. The Hate Me Now Miz package for Mania 27. The Monster video for Daniel Bryan. Of course, their talents aren't limited to just hyping matches. They also craft unbelievable tribute videos to dead superstars like Randy Savage, Owen Hart, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Pipers. They're all masterpieces. Then there's the WWF Desire videos they used to make for each superstar. Then you've got the network and the avalanche of content on there, from Countdown to Monday Night Wars to WWE rivalries. The video editors, they are the true historians of WWE. They create a hyper-reality, a continuity, a mythology, comic book lore, essentially, and they've created a perfectly manicured history of not just each individual feud, but of the WWE itself. With the precise cutting of the right imagery, the editing team will tell you which bits of WWE history to cherish. The iconic sound bites, power slams, poses. Just look at the standard WWE intro, a rapid-fire blitz through wrestling past to wrestling present. They make legacies, and I have huge respect for the editing team then, now, forever. So let's move on to the script writing team, the guys whose job it is to come up with what superstars say each and every week. And look, I don't want to think about the kind of job these guys must have. In WCPW, we put together about 8 hours of material every month. With just the main roster, main shows like Raw and SmackDown, they put together 5 hours every week, 8 if you include pay-per-views, which are fortnightly now. That's an ungodly amount of promos, which makes it almost more baffling that WWE is so damn rigid when it comes to scripting their athletes. Now, I feel like an asshole saying this because I know that the writing team have to write and rewrite all of their stuff last minute in order to accommodate the whims of an incredibly scary billionaire, here pictured eating a metal bar, because why the f*** not? But if you ask me, what's the single biggest fixable problem in WWE right now, I wouldn't say the 3-hour Raw, I wouldn't say 50-50 booking, though that's a close second. I'd say it's the word-for-word scripting WWE insists upon for its superstars. Now, it didn't used to be this way, and to illustrate the change, look at side-by-side comparisons of leaked scripts from Raw, one from 2000 and one from 2014. First off, this script from September 25th, 2000, the first page outlines the big opening promo, gives each wrestler their angle for the confrontation, peppers a few catchphrases in there, have 1 or 2 lines they definitely want the guys to nail, but the rest is general narrative overview. The wrestlers fill in the rest with their distinctive voices drawn from the fact that they are distinctive people with their own speech patterns and idiosyncrasies. WCPW scripts are very similar. Look, here's a little bit of one. Now compare this to a leaked script from the 14th of April episode of Raw in 2014. Look at those promos and exchanges, written out word for word. Now, in the case of WWE's top performers, these scripts still act like a general guideline. On the actual episode itself, Bray mixes up the script, as does Triple H. Cena almost completely ignores the terrible jokes written for him. Christ, we to believe the terrible jokes that come out of Cena's mouth hide even worse ones in the original script. What a dreadful world! For the veterans and the gifted, these scripts don't hurt too much. But what about the superstars who are just starting out? The superstars who don't have the seniority or skill to remix a strictly worded promo. What happens if you're Roman Reigns, not yet 100% comfortable on the mic, and someone hands you a piece of paper with, written on it, "You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son." We come back to that line a lot in WhatCulture, but that's only because it's the worst sentence written by a human. I would rather read my own son's obituary story than some of the drizzling piss that's been handed to poor Roman Reigns. The promos so often don't create distinct characters. Most of the babyfaces in WWE sound the same because their lines are written by the same people from the same general template, the same bargain bin of COD inspirational fridge magnet poetry and shit dad jokes. It creates generalized good guys and generalized bad guys, and that is storytelling poison because it breeds a generalized reaction. Remember, Austin 316 was ad-libbed. If you smell what The Rock is cooking was ad-libbed. The young guys aren't being afforded the same amount of creative freedom. And this is the problem. While the editing team are capable of conjuring a range of emotions using their suite of tricks, VFX, flashbacks, transitions, evocative music, with just one tool, words, the scriptwriting team are failing the superstars who need them most. There's just two entirely different levels of taste going on here. One understands the basic tenets of storytelling, and the other, and this is hugely important, doesn't feel real. Reality in wrestling, it's a rare commodity. Often you have to actively shun it to have a good time because it's quite ghoulish, to be honest, to want to watch people actually trying to cripple each other. But when superstars take to the microphone, that's when you need a little bit of reality. You need to strip away the artifice, or at least have to provide some form of character-based logic. That's when you need to make a human connection with the superstars. That connection is the bedrock of wrestling, caring enough about the face and the heel to become vocally interested in their conflict. Scripting those promos kills that connection. The human brain is really, really good at detecting falseness, at picking up minute changes in the cadence of the human voice to distinguish what's spur of the moment and what's being said from memory. If the script is good, the problem is diminished, but the WWE scripts are often so bad that the audience are actively repelled by them. Superstars take to the ring to read out hack platitudes under the pretense of bearing their souls to the public, and that disconnect that forms from that is damaging. That's where the what chant comes from. Promo should be a dose of real-life drama, leaving the video packages to become hyper-real comic book gods and monsters opera. In reality, the edited stuff is the only thing that feels real because it's the only thing that isn't tone deaf to human emotion or the tenets of storytelling. Ironically, the heavily edited stuff is providing stuff that feels more real, that has more to invest in than one dude being out there with a microphone. That's f***ing topsy-turvy. Look at the Seth Rollins WWE 24 documentary, a stirring, engaging, humanizing portrayal of the Architect's road back to WWE. Never before has Seth felt more uncensored, unfiltered, and that's again ironic considering the amount of emotive manipulation in the edit. Compare that to how he is now on Monday Night Raw on the microphone calling Chris Jericho Sparkle Crotch. You know, like Roman called Sheamus Tater Tots, or The Rock called John Cena Fruity Pebbles, or Kane called Seth himself Justin Bieber. They all sound the same. It's f***ing maddening. Another example, the CWC's promos. They were outstanding. Just dudes talking to camera candidly about their lives, judiciously edited with footage and music, a foundation of reality massaged with editing trickery to maximize emotional investment. Those promos are what made Brian Kendrick's story so important, and TJ Perkins. Speaking of TJ, when he won the belt live on the CWC final, he delivered a heartfelt promo about triumph after adversity that was patently unscripted. Your brain can tell these things. Compare that to the bland as template babyface promo he delivered from memory before his debut at Clash of Champions, and something very important was lost in translation. Suddenly, when exposed to a much, much bigger audience, a lot of his vital character work was undone. Confidence is what got me to this point. Confidence got me this title, and I'm confident I'm going to walk out of here champion. What the f*** is that? Now, my suggestion is, if the quality of WWE's writing is so bad, then for the guys who really need effective promo time, the debuting guys, the guys with the gimmicks that are difficult to get right, like Tyler Breeze, WWE need to cut the scripting, cut the backstage segments that feel like they're written by FeudBot. They need to create more heavily edited character packages. Let these wrestlers speak plainly or in the personas they've been cultivating, and then trust the editing team to do what they do best, massage reality, find the best lines to build the strongest human connection. I mean, WWE is all about strict content control, right? That's why they script these dudes so heavily in the first place, surely to make sure they're exactly on message. Well, if you rely on video packages more, you can edit to your heart's content and it will feel, ironically, much more human than what fans are getting now. Sure, some of these promos have to happen live, but you give those promos to the people who can do it well, who've built up in the house show circuit a rapport with the fans, and then you let them go out there and let their personas speak for themselves and capitalize on the stuff that the fans react to. For example, Austin 316, or Can You Smell What The Rock Is Cooking? Now, for comedic purposes, I've suggested that scriptwriters and editors are engaged in gang warfare. Of course, they're not. In fact, editors, when preparing a video package, are working from a brief laid out by the writers. They're supposed to be symbiotic, and that relationship works. The problem is, the relationship between the scriptwriters and the audience, that doesn't. Editors are great, but they rarely get public recognition, which is probably fine because they're not utter swaggering narcissists like me who live and die based on YouTube numbers. But there's one example of a WWE editor getting his just recognition. During Shawn Michaels' retirement speech, he name-checked a crazy, red-headed kid in Stamford, Connecticut called Adam. That Adam is Adam Panucci, one of the head video editors in WWE. HBK thanked him for making him, quote, look like a superstar, a rare moment of acknowledgement as to how vital the editors are in making the careers of the wrestlers. Of course, Shawn Michaels' retirement speech was not scripted because it was much too important, and that says it all, really. So all that's left for me to say is, thank you, Sam. Thank you for everything you do. Now please edit together a little something to show my gratitude for everything you do and make it look good. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and that was the Pipe Bomb.
I will delete